the home of everything Frederick. It's 401 North Market Street, right in downtown Frederick. This is very cool. You guys are going to love this. I'm with Brian and Kristen. Brian, you're a former FBI
special agent.
Special agent.
Yep. FBI agent.
Turned writer, producer, actor.
Correct.
And you have a great new pilot you're filming here in Frederick coming up here soon. Yes. And we're going to talk about how that got started. And Kristen, you are an actress, model, and marketing extraordinaire.
Yep,
I love this. And you're from Thurmont.
I'm from Thurmont, yeah.
So we love that.
Here.
Not that we don't love you too.
You're okay.
You're supporting Frederick County, but we love that Frederick County is doing that well. How exciting. Okay, so one day you just said, hey, I want to try this acting thing. Mm-hmm. And now, almost 2 years later, right here you are?
Correct. Yeah, I wanted to be an actor ever since I worked with a coworker who had a neighbor, and all she did was TV commercials, and it just went from there. I retired in 2023. I've been acting for 2 years. I've always had in the back of my mind that I got a lot of stories that would be fun to tell, and I've always had a secret fantasy of being a vigilante, taking out the bad guys without the badge and the gun.
Right. Doing that with words and acting is probably much safer than any other way, right?
It is much safer. Yeah.
Yeah. For you and your family.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you wrote this story, and this particular story is called St. Michael's.
St. Michael's Intern.
St. Michael's Intern. And tell me, I didn't realize, I'm thinking Eastern Shore St. Michael's, but you tell me that St. Michael's is the patron saint protector of law enforcement.
That's correct. Yeah. For law enforcement in the military, St. Michael is viewed as the patron saint that is the protector while they're doing the dangerous stuff. St. Michael being the one that cast Lucifer out of heaven into hell. I myself am not religious, but I actually got a St. Michael's charm from my aunt when I became an FBI agent. I carried it with me for 20 years.
Wow.
So I don't know that it helped me. I don't think it hurt.
Well, you're here. You're here to tell the story.
Yeah,
so we'll just go with that.
Never got hurt.
Belief system, right? And is that bracelet?
Yeah, so this bracelet is a St. Michael's bracelet, and I bought this for the character who wears. His name is Jason T-Bone Pozlewski. Which is,
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, it's very loosely me.
Yeah.
My name's Brian Grehoski, so it's not much of a stretch. And that nickname T-Bone actually has its own story, which is, I know it's a stupid nickname, but it's the...
Oh, I love it. I don't think I've heard the story, though.
It's the actual nickname I had. When I got to my first squad in the FBI, there were already 2 Brians. And I said, well, you can call me Ski. That's what they used to call me when I was in the Marines. And my boss, who was one of the Bryans, says, you can't give yourself a nickname. And he was
assigned it.
And he thought of George Costanza and Seinfeld, who wanted to be called T-Bone.
Right.
And so he goes, you're T-Bone.
I love it.
Okay.
I love to know that our military and law enforcement have such a sense of humor. I used to work at a naval base with a lot of pilots, and the same thing. You can't give yourself your own name. It's just not what happens.
So that's the one that stuck for,
nice.
I mean, it wasn't my first year in the Bureau. It was my second. So I've had it for 19 years plus.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So you guys are shooting in Frederick for 4 days coming up next week. And you are using some of our locations, which is awesome. Some local people are involved as well.
A lot of local people.
Nice.
Kim Stark, who I worked with on Boomtown, when she found out I was doing this project, volunteered to help out and corral some resources and locations up here in Frederick. So the entire thing will be shot next week. 4 days of filming in and around Frederick.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. We're using one of the local hotels and a diner and one of the churches and awesome. and local actors, and obviously Kristen's from the area, so we're excited to work with her, and it's all local folks.
So is this the first time for you that you've done a production like this locally and all of that?
Oh, definitely, yeah. So I've been acting also for about 2 years. So everything, I'm sure, as Brian knows, everything's kind of more central to Washington, D.C. or Baltimore, even Northern Virginia, and then New York, of course. So being here in a place that I grew up and I'm so familiar with is amazing. Also, it's just different in general. I mean, I've never done anything with someone that has this much experience in what he's doing. I mean, an FBI agent, I keep saying it, but it's so cool. It's different than anything I've worked on. It feels a lot more authentic and real, and it's not just like, let's go and say our lines and pretend to be this character, and he's living it. So I think we all are learning a lot from him as we're going through it. And then marketing for it's been great. It's easy. It makes it easy. So got a good cast, good crew, good people, and excited to be a part of it.
Yeah. I think that's great. And I think Frederick's becoming like this new place. I mean, this is, we've had a few even this year who've been shooting. But Boomtown, obviously one of the largest. Inspired was another documentary that was done here in Frederick, and Spencer's was shot here. So I love the fact that we are starting to attract more and more of this work here in Frederick. Now, Frederick can get involved. And we said this with Boomtown too. Obviously, this is being funded on your and your wife's time for a little bit. But obviously, people have an opportunity to get more involved. And you guys have an Indiegogo, which is kind of a crowdfunding source. So what are some of the perks that people can get if they donate?
Yeah, of course. So it's nothing too small, nothing too big. We're happy with anything, any help. We're going to do things like exclusive behind-the-scenes content, thank you packages, exclusive tickets to our premiere, good seats, getting to see everything first, name in the credits, of course. And if you keep up with our Indiegogo, we'll add more as we go.
Sure. So where does it start? Where can somebody start? How much?
$15, I think, is what we have on here.
15.
Yep, $15.
Oh, Frederick, come on,
you guys can do it. $15.
Okay, yeah, that's
$15, and you get exclusive perks and get to be part of this experience and help us bring this to life.
Yeah, and you guys obviously have a goal right now. You need about 25,000. 30?
About 30 was the fundraising goal.
Okay,
I've been very fortunate to have family and friends already donate quite a bit, so I'm up to around 9,000. But it'd be nice to have more.
It's cost to doing everything, right? Every time you turn around, there's probably new cost to what you're doing. We want to keep the money here in Frederick, and we'd love to keep more films coming this way. So the more supportive we can be, the better.
And we love Frederick. We love the people, and I think you guys will fall in love with our cast a lot. So following us on social media, we're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. We're all over the place. So following along, getting to know everyone that's making this series a thing.
So after these 4 days of shooting, how long before you feel like everything will be ready to go, the premiere? Do you have any idea?
Good question.
So this is my very first time being an executive producer. For me, I'd like it the following week if possible.
Of course.
I have no idea what's even realistic. My understanding is it will take probably a couple of months to get a first cut.
3 months would be kind of your first run at doing that. Is what I think that's a good. Good
so I'm gonna try and work with future Fanoscope. Jordan Miller is the production company. To try and get a trailer out pretty quick and some clips that we can start sending out some teasers.
Yes.
And
so the story itself, we haven't really talked about that, obviously based on your life, but specifically you are focused on a trafficking situation. Is that right?
Yes. So the movie show starts out with basically me doing some surveillance on a hotel. In retirement, I've always had this fantasy of being a vigilante and taking out bad people and rescuing victims of human trafficking. So I'm staking out a motel, and this girl Elise just stumbles into it looking for her sister who's being trafficked. I end up having to rescue her, and then the rest of the arc is we're trying to figure out how we can find her sister and get her out of trafficking.
And this whole pilot is to hopefully get a series that continues with these characters. That's really cool.
And that's where a lot of the money is meant. I thought about maybe filming this just with my iPhone with a 4K and doing all that, but look, I want to market this to bigger production companies, hopefully get picked up as a series. Because my ultimate goal is to maybe use some of the proceeds to help rescue actual trafficking victims and one of the collateral.
It's an unfortunate large issue here.
It really
I'm sure you know more than any, and have seen some of the terrible stories, but even some of the movies that have come out recently, just knowing what some people are dealing with. And
you look at like the Epstein stuff, and
all of it.
Man, there are so many just disturbing and sickening stories that are in every community. And to raise awareness to such a terrible thing would be a dream of mine to
So the series, would you consider it a drama, dramedy? Your sense of humor, I have a feeling, is going to be littered throughout this. So
it's a dark comedy.
Dark comedy. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gallows humor is prevalent through law enforcement and through the military.
You have to. My gosh.
And so, and the other thing I wanted to say is this: I will never portray a girl or a young boy or anybody being a victim of trafficking. This is more focused on the vigilante aspect and how to deal with the pimps. Yeah. It's certainly implied that there's some bad things going on, but the last thing I want to do is display really sickening victimization. That is not going to be part of the show.
No, I mean, I think that doesn't need to be. I would feel like
nobody wants to see that.
Right? No, exactly. All right, so 4 days here in Frederick, and then hopefully a few months down the road, we'll be able to see something.
Yes.
St. Michael's Intern. Do you want to say the line that's in the lead?
Yeah, go for that. St. Michael's.
Why is it called St. Michael's Intern? Well, as I said, that St. Michael's the patron saint, and so there's a line where I say, "Does St. Michael move in the mysterious ways?" The answer is yes, and I'm his unpaid intern.
I love it. All right, Brian and Kristen, we're going to be able to see them, plus a lot more of Frederick and Frederick people in this. So look out. You might see them out and about in Frederick shooting.
Probably.
And wish you guys all the success. We're here to help however we can. $15 Indiegogo, you can have a small part, and more money, you can have a bigger part in making this happen. We appreciate you both very much.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we're happy to be here. Yeah, thanks, Frederick.
Awesome.